Had a good storm roll through here this morning. Wrecked my canopy outside. It's December 27th. I was last here on November 19th. That's when my son-in-law and my son had to come over here and pack my camp up and help me get home. I'd blown my back out. Never did get to hunt. This is my first opportunity to make it back over here. It has been bitterly cold here for several days, just like it has been in most of the country. Tonight's low is about 32 here, and then we're on a warming trend. I swear, I would rather it just stay cold, but it's going to get into the 70s in a couple of days. I've got tomorrow and Thursday to hunt, and then the rain sets in for, there's big chances of rain for like the next 7 days. So I don't know, man. The rut should be kicking off here right now. But I'm gonna give it a shot. Maybe I'll get lucky. But anyway, I hope y'all all had a good Christmas. I did. Got to spend time with family. Took me a while to get over my back, but I finally did, and I worked for a couple of weeks. And I've taken off now to hunt for a few days. This is prime time here. So maybe I'll do some good. If I don't, I'm going to enjoy it anyway. There's coyotes hollering in 2 or 3 different directions, behind me, in front of me. Alright, here's my next deer story by the fire. Several years ago, many years ago, probably 25 years ago, I was over in this area hunting muzzleloader. I had that Thompson Center 50 caliber that I killed that big 8-point with on the last video that I told you about. And it was early in the morning. I had eased down this old woods road, went through a big briar field, up to the top of a hill, and there used to be an old green field there. It was about a ½ acre. Behind it dropped off into a swamp. And about half of that old green field was kind of open, grown up in broom sage and such, but the backside was a briar thicket. Well, I eased up there and I'd look, take another step and look, and I finally got to the top of the hill, and this thing's right there, right in front of me. And the road, that old road that I was on, turned and went like this. Well, all of a sudden, that briar patch erupted, and there was a buck, and I was on him. That's the way I used to hunt with that muzzleloader over here. I'd ease around, jump them up, and shoot them down. I killed about 5 or 6 nice bucks, jumping them and killing them with that old muzzleloader. Well, all of a sudden, here's a buck right in front of me, and I'm on him, and I seen something else, and I looked, and here was an absolute giant. I mean a giant deer. And I was on him. Broadside, this deer is 20 yards from me, and he's not even running fast. I think that the big buck was running because the first buck ran. I don't even think he knew I was there. Trucks passing on the road out there. But anyway, I was on him. Click, nothing happened. Now what? I cocked the thing again, and by this time he was quartering away from me, but he was only about 30 yards away. Click, didn't fire again. And by this time he had gotten on the old road running down through there, and I just held it up hoping to hit him in the back of the neck or something like that. The third time it fired, and I seen it blow up behind him. He was probably 50 yards away by that point. But that was a giant deer. He was a non-typical, had a big drop tine off of his right antler. And man, I was sick to my stomach. I could have wrapped that old gun around a tree. I was so mad. So anyway, I get back over to where I live, and I tell a friend or two, of course, about my adventure. And one of them said, well, you know, you have to replace those nipples over the years. And you know, that nipple stood up, and you put your cap on it, and the hammer would strike the cap and fire a little spark down in there till you powder. And so, sure enough, I went and bought a new nipple and put it on there, and the gun did fire okay. But man, I was sick. That was 25 or maybe even 30, probably 25 years ago. And I am still sick about that. But anyway, about a week later, after that, one of my buddies called me, said, you know, you need to go down to Turner Brothers Taxidermy and have a look. They got a non-typical kill down there where you hunt over there, and see if that might be the deer you missed or shot at. So I went down there, and in my heart, I know that I went and looked. I held that deer's antlers. I know I did. I know it was the same buck. Big old fine, non-typical, had a drop tine off the right side. The story was the boy, it was a young fella that killed him, and good for him. In the same area that I shot the deer at, or shot at the deer. And this was a 180s class non-typical. So it was a Boone and Crockett. But man, I'm still sick about that. But good for that young boy that did get to kill that deer. But that was an awesome experience. I did get to see him at least. There's a big thunderstorm on the way. It's thundering and lightning out there right now. Not a good day to deer hunt. Supposed to do this all day. It's raining pretty hard. There was a good storm rolled through here an hour ago. When it gets good and light enough, I'll open the tent door and show you what happened out there. My canopy is completely destroyed. I got water in my tent. It's coming through my stove jack right here. That patch is not waterproof. It's leaking like crazy through there. So I got water. That towel down here sucking it up. I got water on the floor. Yep, just another great day, huh? That is the stove jack patch on this tent. It is leaking like crazy. Today's January the 4th, and I just got back to the camp today. This is Wednesday. Monday, I went back home because severe weather was supposed to come in Monday night and yesterday, and it did. But I was at the house during all that. This past Friday morning, severe weather rolled through and kind of wrecked my camp a little bit, tore up my canopy, and so I didn't want to go through that again here in a tent. Got pine trees all around me, and I lost the internet. I don't have internet service here where I'm at very often, and I didn't have it Monday, and I wasn't going to stay here not being able to watch the radar and see the weather coming. On Friday, when my camp got wrecked, about 3 miles straight through the woods right there, the way I go out of here to go where I go hunt, there was a bunch, I come to a particular place, a bunch of big oak trees down, and back up on the hill, a couple hundred yards, is a house, and its roof was tore up pretty bad. So, without being able to access the internet and see the weather coming, I wasn't going to be here. So anyway, I just got back today, this afternoon. Well, I got back this morning. I hunted this afternoon. Didn't see any deer. I'm going to be here. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'm going to hunt Thursday. I'm going to hunt Friday, and I'm probably going to hunt till noon on Saturday. Weather's coming in again on Sunday. So I'm probably going to pack all this up and go home Saturday afternoon. And that might be the end of my trips to deer hunt over in this part of the world this year. So I got to get it done in the next couple of days. I've not had much luck this year. Every time I come over here, something happens and just screws my hunt up. But anyway, I'll give it a shot the next couple of days and see what happens. This past Sunday night, I was sitting here by the fire. It was just right after dark. I'd gotten a fire built. And I was texting with my wife back and forth, and I heard something right out there. I don't hear real well anymore. I've gotten kind of old, and a lot of stuff don't work real well anymore. But anyway, I heard something, but I wasn't sure what I heard because I was concentrating on texting. It almost sounded like a growl, but I wasn't real sure. And so I just went back to texting, and all of a sudden, a coyote started barking right there, about 30 yards right out there. And my son got me a Q-beam, a portable Q-beam for Christmas last year. I zoomed in the tent and got that thing and come back out here and shined out there and drew my pistol. Because there's a lot of coyotes right here. They obviously have a den a couple of 100 yards behind me, because they come out almost every night back that way and holler and howl and hoot and holler and all that stuff. And I got some audio of it the other night. But coyotes are sneaky and devious, and I don't trust those things at all. But anyway, I never did see the thing, and I was hollering at it and all that, but I never saw it. I never heard it again. It didn't seem to come back. But anyway, that was just kind of an interesting little happening this past Sunday evening. That's the first full moon of 2023 right there. This is January the 6th. Alright y'all, this is Friday, January the 6th, 2023. I went home earlier in the week, Monday night, because of weather rolling in. I was gone Tuesday and I came back Wednesday and hunted Wednesday afternoon here. Didn't see anything. I hunted yesterday and today really hard, all day, both days. I saw 3 deer yesterday. One was real early, right after daylight. I think the thing was a buck. It was a big deer, but I really didn't see its head, so I can't be sure. And then I saw 2 deer later on in the morning. One of them, I jumped them. One of them was a little small thing, so the other one was probably a doe. I didn't get to see its head. Today I hunted hard. This morning about 8:20, a deer just come blasting through the woods, running past me about 50 yards out there. I don't know what it was running from, but it was getting it. It was running from something. And then at 11, I was easing out on a trail, a deer trail I had found. Pretty well-used trail. And I was easing out to the road, and I was about 100 yards from the road. My truck was 300 or 400 yards down the road. And I didn't know it, but there was a buck coming down the trail, and I was coming up the trail, and he saw me first. And he bounded off a couple of leaps. I saw his rack. He was not a mounter. I wouldn't have mounted him, but I'd have sure shot him. He was a legal deer, a decent deer. And he messed around out there a little bit, and he finally bounded off and got gone. And this afternoon at 4, a little 6-point came running by me, and he wouldn't even been legal. And then on the way home tonight, out on the blacktop before I got to this part of the world, a really nice, looked like an 8-point crossed the road in front of me, and then about a mile later there was another nice buck standing on a hill right beside the road. So I saw several deer today. I'm going to hunt till noon tomorrow, and then I got to go home. It's going to rain Sunday again, and I was going home Sunday anyway, but I'm not going to be here for the rain. I've already broke down some of the camp, and I'll hunt till noon tomorrow, and then come here and break down the rest of the camp and head on out of here now. I hope this don't wrap up my deer season this year. Over here in this part of the world, it stays open till the 31st of January. Over where I live, it's open till February 15th. I intend to come back over here right toward the end of this month and hunt 2 or 3 days. I'll see how that goes. I got a job to do, so we'll see how that goes, and maybe I'll hunt a little bit over there around my house. Anyway, I haven't been real successful this year deer hunting. Every time I come over here, something happens. First time it was just hot, and I really just scouted. Next time and the first time I came, also my grandson burned his hands, and I went home. I was going home that day anyway. Second time I come over here, I hurt my back and couldn't hunt. And this trip over here, I was going to be here about 10 days, and last Friday, a big storm rolled through, tore my camp up, and then storms were coming through again on Monday night and Tuesday, so I went home and missed that. But anyway, I've enjoyed it. I've seen several deer, and I've seen some bucks, and I'm glad I got to see them at least. So anyway, I'll hunt tomorrow till noon and see how that goes, and just go from there. But if this is my last trip deer hunting this year, I appreciate y'all staying tuned and watching.